Hello. Today's video is about the new grineer tonfa weapon that's on the alert that's live right now. They're very interesting weapons because of the unique trait, but unfortunately, the unique trait doesn't apply properly. It has the same issue as some of the Warframe augments used to have, which makes it so that it doesn't increase the DOT damage. It only increases the weapons flat damage that you get when you smack the enemy in the face, regardless of how many stacks you have of this on it. It doesn't increase, which is a problem. The second problem is, as you might be able to see from reading it, 4% hit chance for 15 seconds stacks up to 30 times based on your combo multiplier. Combo multiplier only stacks up to 12, which means 11 stacks, which is 44% of the hit damage. And that means that you need to reset the combo 3 times. That buff right there. You need to reset your buff, the combo 3 times, as you can see. And it's at 12, it doesn't matter. I'm shooting, it doesn't increase it anymore. And once it runs out, you lose all of the stacks. Even though you still have the combo, you lose it because you weren't increasing your combo stacks for that 15 seconds. If you go down to 6, you can increase it up to 6. After that you need to deplete it again. So that you can stack it up again. Oops, wrong weapon. It's a bit, can be a bit painful process. I'm at 30 and if I'm meleeing at 12, when I'm using the actual weapon, the buff runs out. I need to now the whole dance again. Just to get the combo back up. Something good is that if you're using heavy attacks, that's gonna keep draining your combo, obviously. And things like galvanized reflex are gonna bring it up back to the 5 times, which means 5 stacks. As long as you are using heavy attacks and you have something that gives you initial combo. It works with crescendo and reflex and warp charge. This is only gonna give you 1 stack, this gives you 5, and then crescendo goes up to 12, which you can do in heavy attack build with crescendo. Works pretty well. And okay, I managed to get my OBS working again. Yeah. I have the afflictions here and the heavy attack build because you can see the heavy attack has force, slash procs, and a knockdown. So it works quite nicely with the melee afflictions. The problem is that it would also multiply the damage from the heat. If the heat also worked properly, it would deal a lot more damage because the heat doesn't scale with the trait stacks increasing. The heat ends up dealing less damage than it should, even when you get the proc. It only increases the initial hit damage, which does still benefit heavy attacks, but it doesn't benefit the DLT damage afterwards too much, unfortunately. The damage is quite nice though. K, 5 mil, 5 mil, 5 mil, and 5 mil, 10 mil, 17 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil and 5 mil, 7 mil. And as you can see, I'm at 30 stacks now because of the going up and down with the heavy attacks. And as long as you keep spamming, it's gonna go up and down and won't be losing that hit bonus. But once the weapon works, it's gonna be nice. But for now, it only increases the damage for this hit before any of the procs. It's a bit unfortunate. Don't think we're gonna be able to even get any 18 mil procs. Okay, yeah, we're getting some 27 mil, 10 mil. And now we're all out of breathful advance. Pretty basic affliction heavy build. Bleed damage increases based on the base damage and also the faction bonuses. So there's prime pressure, killing blow, and then condition, which would do more if you have a companion or something to prime the enemies with. Then there's galvanized steel, is there for the crit damage. The first part is just a sham for what it's actually used for. Small crit damage, there's galvanized reflex, will give you that initial combo and also heavy attack efficiency, so you won't go from 5 to 0 with one attack, cause it has enough attack speed to attack twice before it would go all the way up, so you wouldn't even get the 5 times. all the time. And then Elementalist for more status chance and then status damage. And this, as usual, double dips into the damage. Second build I have is melee influence build. You're going to be going up and down a bit more. You could also switch the electric to this if you're wanting to play more into the normal combo. In that case you would also swap this out for that. Probably. Just to get some of the crits in. As seeing myself, and there is no place where this weapon would benefit more from the duplicate more. The optimal range for duplicate with Blood Rush would be around that 19% crit chance. This has 23 by default, so a bit about that. And also you have decent status chance, so might as well go for the influence. And then the last one I have is very standard, like hybrid build. Weeping, Blood Rush, melee attack speed, combo, elemental damage, and then that, this, then base damage. And for the heavy attack problem, if you wanna use these, of course you can always trade something in for the efficiency and then just deal with it, or put something in that increases the combo, has the fast slash procs on heavy, so I noticed that this stacked it up pretty well when I was doing the testing for the trade, but this gave surprising amount of the procs. Something that I was using is Varuna, because I couldn't show the initial parts with Varuna because I have Tonkatt shards on it, and then the one blue shard for the energy. The damage is gonna be a bit larger now because of these. Keep that in mind. Like this. Yeah. Hybrid build with influence. And then we'll combo up. Depleting it. Bring it more back up. 30. At 30, you can use the third passive, which is heavy attack efficiency, which makes you only use a bit over 1 level. And you can just try and every 15 seconds remember to use heavy attack. This is probably going to be your most comfortable one for most missions. There's a reason why hybrid builds like this are very popular. With the influence and without the extra stacks, you're gonna get pretty good results because of the arcane just being busted. Yeah. Gameplay loop with Varuna would just be getting the stacks to 30. I dropped them there by accident because I wasn't paying attention, which is also gonna happen a lot in missions. And you can just uncast the passive there. But you can deplete the stacks faster again. Just depleting the stacks if you have a lot of efficiency is a bit painful in my opinion, which is kind of why I feel like the weapon is outside of Varuna, it's kind of locked into heavy attacks, because with you not getting the proper benefits from either keeping the high combo and just playing away, and needing to drop it down every now and then, I feel like should just play the heavy attacks. If you don't heavy attack often enough, 15 seconds is a pretty short time. You're just gonna lose the buff and there's no point to it. This is the build I would personally recommend with afflictions as arcane. Then much difference there. Just more flat damage, and then here you have obviously the element or the influence to proc. Well, that's it for the weapon. Overall, I think it's pretty decent one. I just wish the unique threat wasn't as janky and that it also actually worked. As you saw, it still deals pretty good damage because of it just being tonfa and the afflictions really helping it out. With lavas, and you could also put lasting sting, and then you could use the helmet ability that increases the stacks. What's it called? Sickening Pulse, that's the one. Could use Sickening Pulse and also the one that the Harmonies effect mimics, that makes the enemy take all of the status ticks in one go. Overall, the weapon performs pretty well on its own, despite the bugs. Thanks for watching and hope you have a great day.